The story kicks off in Paris, right before Bastille Day celebrations. We meet Michael Mason, an American pickpocket who's busy swiping wallets in the bustling crowd. Meanwhile, there's a woman strolling around completely nude, catching everyone's attention. Turns out, Michael and this mysterious lady are a team. She's the distraction, and he's the thief. After the job, Michael pays her for her efforts, and they hop on a train together. While on the train, Michael notices some police officers boarding and leaving without a word to the woman, which seems odd. Next up, we're introduced to Sean Breyer, a CIA operative under fire for a botch mission. The scene shifts to a man stuffing a bomb into a teddy bear. He hands it to his girlfriend, Zoe, telling her to drop it off at the French Nationalist Party's office. The plan? The building's supposed to be empty, so the explosion will only send a statement. Meanwhile, Michael is busy unloading his stolen goods to a buyer. Around the same time, Zoe prepares to carry out her boyfriend's plan. She stuffs the teddy bear bomb in her bag and heads to the office. When she gets there, she leaves the bag on the floor. But just as she's about to leave, she spots people entering the building. Panicking, she grabs the bag and bolts. Michael, lurking nearby, sees Zoe arguing frantically with her boyfriend. Thinking the bag might hold something valuable, he swipes it while she's distracted. In the meantime, Zoe's boyfriend sits in a car with his crew, stressing over their plan falling apart. He assures them he'll fix it. Michael later rummages through the stolen bag and finds the teddy bear. Having no clue about the bomb inside, he tosses it away casually. At that moment, Zoe's boyfriend calls her phone, and Michael answers. Thinking the bear is some random gift, he doesn't give it a second thought. But soon after, the bomb detonates, killing 4 people. Confused and panicked, Michael flees the scene. After the explosion, the French Interior Minister faces the press, promising to hunt down the culprits. Security footage soon surfaces, showing Michael's face at the scene. French authorities quickly label him a terrorist and put him under CIA surveillance. The next day, Michael realizes he's now a wanted man and decides to get out of Paris ASAP. Meanwhile, Sean Breyer catches wind of Michael's involvement and jumps into action. With Michael's phone tracked, Sean and his team close in on his apartment. Michael, always one step ahead, grabs his cash and prepares to bolt. But when he spots Sean arriving, he makes a daring escape through the window. A rooftop chase ensues, with Sean hot on his heels. The pursuit takes them through buildings and even a random house, where Michael momentarily shakes Sean off thanks to the house owner's interference. But Sean doesn't give up. The chase continues to a nearby supermarket. Michael blends in by swiping a jacket and slipping out. Outside, Sean scans the area for him. Michael then steals a moped, but just as he's about to speed away, Sean catches him. Meanwhile, Zoe's back at her boyfriend's place, freaking out because her purse got stolen. Her boyfriend's crew gets word of this and orders him to keep Zoe in check. They need to talk to her. Realizing they're planning to kill her, he warns Zoe to flee Paris. Back to Sean, he's interrogating Michael in a secret room. Michael insists he had no idea the stolen bag had a bomb. He also spills Zoe's name, mentioning that her phone rang when he had the bag. During the questioning, Michael shows off his pickpocketing skills by swiping money from Sean's wallet without him noticing. He even manages to snag a knife from the table as he returns to his seat. Elsewhere, Zoe's now a liability, and the henchmen are scouring the city to eliminate her. Tracking her phone, they locate the CIA's interrogation room. Sean, checking the surveillance footage, doesn't notice Michael using the stolen knife to free himself. When the henchmen arrive, they lie about delivering a package for Zoe. Sean isn't buying it and tells them they're in the wrong place. Just as they're about to leave, one of them spots Michael. Chaos breaks out. Sean fights the thugs while Michael slips away. The henchmen eventually overpower Sean and make their escape. The CIA ramps up their search for Michael. One agent questions Michael's buyer, hoping to get a lead. Sean informs his team that Michael is on the run again, emphasizing that they need to find him before the French authorities figure out the CIA is operating on their turf. Meanwhile, the French Interior Minister discusses the case with a CIA agent over lunch. The CIA insists that capturing Michael is crucial to maintaining public trust. If the CIA succeeds, it'll make the French look incompetent, which isn't ideal for the minister. Elsewhere, Rafi, the henchman's leader, plans another attack. Their goal? To create more chaos and secure a $500 million payout from a bank account encrypted on their disk. But here's the kicker. The French interior minister is secretly pulling the strings. He's the mastermind behind the mercenaries. To gain public trust, he stages a fake rescue mission at a mosque, planting a bomb to make it look like a terrorist attack. The innocent mosque-goers are framed, fueling public outrage and deepening the divide. So, after that staged mosque attack, the media goes into a frenzy, and poor Michael is still the prime suspect. Trying to figure things out, Michael goes to his client, a guy he pretty much sees as a father figure. He swears up and down he had nothing to do with the bomb. The client seems to buy his story and tells him to chill in a room for a bit. Plot twist. The guy secretly calls the cops, and Rafi's mercenary crew heads there to grab Michael. Realizing the doors are all locked and spotting cops outside, Michael starts looking for a way out. He notices a crack in the wall and squeezes his way through, just barely making his escape. When Rafi and his goons show up and can't find Michael, they're not happy campers. Thinking the client lied, they beat him to a pulp. But then Rafi spots the chair hiding the wall crack and realizes Michael's on the run. Meanwhile, Michael pops out from his hiding spot, only to find a sniper waiting to take him down. Just in time, Sean swoops in with his car and picks him up. Rafi and his team aren't far behind. They jump in their cars and chase them through the streets. Sean drives Michael to a supposed safe house owned by Zoe's friend Paul, who shacked up with his biker buddies. But Paul isn't about to give Zoe up to anyone. In fact, he and his crew ditch the scene on motorcycles after torching Sean's car for good measure. Left stranded, Michael and Sean have no choice but to steal a random car and head to the bar where Paul works. Inside, Michael stirs up some drama by pickpocketing one guy's phone and slipping it into another guy's pocket. During the commotion, he swipes some papers from Paul's stash, revealing his apartment address. Bingo! Michael and Sean head to the apartment where Zoe's been hiding out. Unfortunately, Rafi's crew gets wind of their location and sets off to nab them. At the apartment, things get tense. Zoe grabs a knife and holds it to Michael's throat, threatening him. Sean quickly disarms her and starts grilling her about the next bomb and who's behind it. Zoe spills the beans about a guy named Gene, who was apparently her boyfriend. She even gives them his address. On the way to Gene's place, Rafi and his crew show up again, guns blazing. Sean tells everyone to duck as he speeds off, dodging bullets. Meanwhile, Paris is going downhill fast. Protests against the Nationalist Party are heating up and the city is on edge. The Interior Minister responds by cranking up the alert level. When the trio finally reaches Gene's place, they find him dead. He's hanged himself. Zoe breaks down crying, and Michael takes her outside to calm her down. Sean, however, digs through Gene's stuff and discovers he was an undercover cop. He quickly calls his colleague Karen at the CIA, sharing his hunch that the riots in Paris were orchestrated. Karen agrees to send help. Karen, meanwhile, meets with the Interior Minister to discuss the situation. She unknowingly tells the very man behind it all that French authorities were responsible for the bomb. She also mentions Sean, Michael, and Zoe, asking him to ensure their safety. The minister, realizing Karen's now a liability, shoots her without hesitation and orders Rafi to hunt down the trio. Unaware of Karen's fate, Sean, Michael, and Zoe wait for a van Karen sent, thinking they're finally safe. But on the road, Zoe recognizes one of Rafi's henchmen in the van. It's a setup, a fight breaks out, and Sean manages to take down the bad guys. They steal the van and head toward their next target, the bank where Rafi's men are planning an attack. At the bank, Sean figures out the Interior Minister's shady plans. Disguised as a cop, Sean sneaks inside just as Rafi's crew disables the security cameras and begins looting the vault. Sean takes down a couple of henchmen and makes his way deeper into the building. Rafi is busy transferring a whopping $500 million onto a hard drive in the vault. Sean storms in, guns blazing, and takes out more henchmen. Meanwhile, outside, Michael and Zoe realize Sean might need backup. They ditch the van and run into the chaos, dodging both cops and protesters. The protesters break through the bank's doors, adding to the mayhem. Sean clears the main hall of mercenaries and heads into the vault for a final showdown. Inside, he battles Rafi and another henchman, killing the latter. Rafi manages to escape though. Realizing things are spiraling out of control, the Interior Minister calls Rafi, demanding he cancel the money transfer. But Rafi isn't about to play nice. He threatens to expose everything if he gets caught. As Rafi leaves the vault, Michael sneaks in and snatches the hard drive on Sean's orders. Rafi, furious, grabs Zoe and uses her as a hostage. He threatens to kill her, but Sean quickly acts, shoving Michael to the ground just as Rafi takes aim. Before Rafi can fire, agents under the minister's orders shoot him down. With Rafi dead, Michael flees the scene while Sean tries to recover from his injuries. Later, Michael confronts the Interior Minister at a church. He demands a passport, plane tickets to Brazil, and $100,000 in exchange for the hard drive. The minister agrees, and they head to a tunnel where the supposed cash is stashed. But surprise, surprise, the minister pulls a gun on Michael. That's when Sean shows up, gun drawn. He shoots Michael, seemingly killing him. When backup arrives to arrest the minister, Michael gets up, revealing he'd been wearing a bulletproof vest the whole time. Gotta love a good fake out. In the end, Michael hands the hard drive over to Sean. If you like this recap, go ahead and smash that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button twice, just to make sure. And hey, you really should check out the whole movie for yourself. If you've enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button, or hit it twice if you didn't like it, just to be sure. Make sure to check out the full movie to experience all the action yourself. Thanks for reading, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.